This is a short bite episode of Homeschool Together. Hello and welcome to Homeschool Together Short Bite Edition. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we're going to be talking about a new game called Point Salad. If you ever wanted to play with your food, especially your salad, we have a wonderful little fun math-oriented card game. Kind of a trick-taking.
It's a card
mixed with
drafting,
but you're trying to create combos.
It's a card drafting set collection game. Think about it a little bit in that Sushi Go mentality.
Very similar, yeah.
There's certain conditions that you're trying to, get sets of cards that are going to score better. So anyway, this is by AEG. This plays 2 to 6 players. This is ages 14 plus, which is crazy. I don't know why they put 14 on it. Our 7-year-old plays this, and she's like really good. So it says 15 to 30 minutes, which I also think is very, very odd because this took us about 10 minutes every time we played.
Yeah, we've played
This is a super, super fast game.
Yeah, we played like 5 or 6 hands of this already.
Yeah, so don't let these numbers intimidate you. This is not any of those things, but I think it is really 2 to 6 players. And it's really great. I'm super happy I got this. I got this at Game Nerds on one of their deal of the day, or maybe it was Game Nerds Day in July. It's like, I want to say it's like our anniversary every year. It's like mid-July, and they have this whole day on Game Nerds, and I picked this up. If you have not used Game Nerds before, I'm going to go on a slight tangent here. Game Nerds, as opposed to going to somewhere like Amazon or Target or one of these other retailers, it's really great to support a site that's all about board games. But the really cool thing about them is if you create your free account, you can email them and say that you would like a customer hold option. And what that means is that you can go ahead and buy a game when it's on sale, and you don't need to meet the $75 free shipping because they'll just hold it for you. And you can put items on hold for up to 6 months. And then once you have enough things to get to free shipping, you can just click to release your holds. You don't pay for shipping, and they send it to you. The really cool thing about Game Nerds, they have a deal of the day, and so there's always something new. But even if you don't want to do the deal of the day, all of their prices are lower than Amazon's typically. They have better pricing on stuff. It's just that you usually have to pay for shipping. So if you want, you could just, buy a game every month or every other month or something. Eventually you'll get to free shipping. And they do have one day a year where they have pretty awesome deals.
Absolutely.
So anyways, back to Point Salad. Just wanted to slight Game Nerds detour. Matt will put a link to Game Nerds in the show notes.
I will absolutely do that. I mean, I'm the classic game show notes perfectionist.
You are. I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
It's funny because whenever the Game Nerds box arrives, I have to remind you that I bought these 6 months ago and I'm out of time on my holds, so I had to release them now. Yep. So don't look at me like that. I bought these 6 months ago.
Yeah, I know. I always get the text or message. Don't worry about the box that's coming.
That's right.
Just bring it in. Put it on the side.
And we have several games we still have not played. We have Cascadia and Lost Ruins of Arnak and Nightfall. We got the expansion to Parks and all these things that came in my last Game Nerds box. So I have to release another Game Nerds box in January. Let's move on. So Point Salad. So this is really cool. So this game has 2-sided cards. So one side of the card has really cute and colorful vegetables: cabbage, carrots, lettuce, tomato, peppers, and onions. Yep. The other side of the card has different point conditions. So it's like
a challenge card. Like, can you get these combinations?
Right. For example, for every carrot you get 2 points. Or if you get 3 heads of cabbage, you get 8 points. Or if you get an odd number at the end of the game of tomatoes, you get 7 points. But an even number only gets you 3 points.
Yeah. Or there may be a condition of saying, you get a point for every tomato, a point for every carrot, but you get minus 2 points for every pepper that you have.
Right. So those tend to be really lucrative on the ones they want you to get, because there's a penalty.
Because there's a big penalty there.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what you do every turn, there's basically going to be 3 stacks of cards that have all of these conditions on the side of the card that gives you the points. And then there's going to be a marketplace of 6 cards, which has got all of the veggies for you to select from. So on your turn, you can either select 2 veggies or one of the point cards. Yep. Either way, and then you put that below. And so whatever those point cards are, that's your conditions you're trying to get with your veggies. You also, once per turn, can flip a point card into becoming a veggie card, but you can't go the opposite way.
Nope.
You can't make a veggie card into a point card. And so you're playing through the game trying to collect your different sets of veggies to meet whatever conditions you have on your card, and all the cards are different.
And score as many points as possible.
Exactly. So this is great because at the end, so your child is strategizing the whole time. Our daughter's like, okay, I need to get lots of cabbage, or whatever. And it's cool because on the side of the points cards where it tells you the conditions, it has a little indicator of what the vegetable is on the other side of the card. Think about this like Welcome To, if you've ever played that. It has a little indicator what's on the other side. So you know what's coming up on the back of those cards. So you can kind of make some decisions knowing what'll be coming up next. So the whole time your child's trying to think about what sets they need to collect and how many points that is versus what you're collecting and what you need. And at the end, it's a bunch of multiplication. So our daughter did that. We played it earlier tonight and she was like, okay, well, I got every 3 lettuces is 5 points. Well, I have 6 lettuce. Okay, so I need to do 2 times 5 or whatever the points are, and then she had to add all of those up. And so it was really great, simple multiplication practice. There's a bunch of simple multiplication practice in this game. It says there's over 100 ways to score points, which I believe because there's so many different cards.
There's about 108 cards. What's cool about it is there's so many combinations of the the point total cards on the back of the vegetable. It's a dynamic game based on how many players you are playing. So they'll tell you if you have 2 players, okay, we need 6 of each vegetable. If it's 3 players like we had tonight when you played, it was 9 of every vegetable. So you're bringing in new cards into the game, and then I think up to 5 or 6 people, then you play all the cards.
Right.
And what's cool is that there's almost this element of you have to play the game 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8 times for you to actually see all of the potential point cards on the back.
Right, because they're all on the backs.
Exactly, and not every single card is going to be available because as people draft from the marketplace
where the veggies are,
we then replenish the marketplace with the top card on the deck of the 3 decks. And so that would take point cards off of the deck and put them into play as vegetables. And so you will lose the opportunity to say, oh, I could get that, point card or that point card.
Right.
And so when you play it multiple times, there's always this new variety of combinations. And you can have some strategy, but also you got to try to play for the future and play for the hope, and also to know that, oh, there's only 9 carrots in play because it's a 3-player game. There's only 9 lettuces. So if a bunch of lettuces have already been chosen and a couple have already been flipped over here or taken as point cards, okay, I'm probably not going to get enough lettuce, or the lettuce will not come up potentially for me. And if somebody's already going hard after lettuce over here, I maybe don't need to go for lettuce here, right? That type of thing. So there's a lot of strategy in this game.
But it's very simple point
It's very
structure.
simple.
Like our daughter totally understands the points. It's very easy for her to get. Everything's very easy to interpret. This is a game that can be explained in 5 minutes. It was funny. We were just saying that we're going to take this to we're recording this spoiler alert, we're recording this before Thanksgiving, and we just decided we were like going to take it to your mom's for Thanksgiving because we're like, man, grandma would really enjoy playing this game. So I think if you're looking for a game for the holidays, you got family coming for Christmas, because this does play up to 6, that's pretty nice, and it's so easy to learn and it's so fast. Like I think your dad would be able to play this, and he's not a game person.
He could easily play this. Also, it's just 110 cards. That's it. So you could pack it into a backpack, into a baggie.
Right. I think this would be a great travel game.
It's a wonderful travel game. It comes in like a small, card-shaped box, but this is one that can be broken down into basically a baggie and thrown into a bag for travel. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, this would be a great travel game. So I think that this is great for it's clever, it's simple, it has really nice sturdy cards, and it plays really quick.
It feels like a game that could have some expansions built into it.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I wanted more of it, not because I thought it was lacking. It's perfect for just a quick, cute, cool game with a nice level of strategy. This is a great warm up game. If you're gonna have a game night, or your family game night, which I'm hoping we'll institute soon when our younger daughter's a little bit older.
The little one played with me tonight.
Yeah, she played with us tonight. She grabbed the cards for you. So this is like the perfect warm up. Game, because it's quick, but it has a nice level of strategy. Get your brain thinking. I'm so happy we have this. I think we're going to play this a ton.
It plays so quickly. They actually, in the rules, they tell you when you're scoring, play multiple,
Right. Yeah. Play a few rounds.
Play a few rounds of the game and then use an aggregate scoring method. as a way to kind of keep score because it does play so fast.
Yeah, I was amazed just that there was such a good amount of strategy involved in such a short game.
Our daughter loved it.
I think that the variety of point scoring is what's really nice. In Sushi Go, you have, sashimis are all this much, tofu is all this much, and all those cards are the same. You're trying to collect them. But in this game, every single card back has a different score condition. So there's just, you can't just be like, in the other game, I'm like always like, okay, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the nigiri, and then I'm waiting to have the multiplier, the wasabi multiplier, because you know the cards so well. This is fun because you can't really memorize these cards.
And I use this today as a homeschool warm-up. So if you're thinking maybe not necessarily for partying or just playing games, but if you're thinking of in terms of like a math game or something to play to kind of get the juices going, or to break up something like we did this today between our reading lesson and our math lesson. And I kind of brought it in. It was a brand new game. So while she was finishing up her reading lesson, I was reading the rules to this, and we were able to play 2 or 3 really quick hands, and it didn't impact our homeschool at all. And I think it kind of made it a lot more fun. And her mind was already going with math and multiplication, so that when we went into our math lesson, it was just, it was just a really nice transition. So if you're thinking about very small, quick to play games for, if you're doing math or whatever that, like that during the homeschool day, this was a great game for that.
Yep. So Point Salad from AEG.
Thanks so much for joining us today and making us a part of your homeschool journey. Please engage with us on social media. Join our Homeschool Together podcast group on Facebook and find us at Homeschool Together Podcast on Instagram. We'd love to hear your feedback, questions, and recommendations. Until next time,
Happy homeschooling!